Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, March 26, 2024. We have a lot to do today. NCAA postseason, NBA, NHL, spring training, soccer, portfolio, center, right, and DH rankings, news and notes, and that's that. We'll actually start with the women's tournament because we haven't had a chance to get into that. So they just wrapped up their first weekend. So they actually had a first four. Albany Region 1, 16 seed Presbyterian over Sacramento 49-42. Portland 3, 12 seed Vandy over 12 seed Columbia 72-68. Portland 3, number 11 Arizona over number 11 Auburn 69-59. Albany 2, 16 Holy Cross over 16 Tennessee Martin 72-45. Friday, now the real fun. Albany 1, number 8 North Carolina over number 9 Michigan State 59-56. Portland 3, number 2 Ohio State over number 15 Maine 80-57. Albany 2, 11 seed Middle Tennessee over number 6 seed Louisville 71-69. Albany 1, number 1 South Carolina over number 16 Presbyterian 91-39. Portland 3, number 7 Duke over number 10 Richmond 72-61. Portland 4, number 1 Texas over number 16 Drexel 82-42. Portland 3, number 4 Virginia Tech over number 13 Marshall 92-49. Albany 2, number 3 LSU over number 14 Rice 70-60. Albany 2, number 4 Kansas State over number 13 Portland 78-65. Portland 4, number 8 Alabama over number 9 Florida State 82-74. Portland 3, number 5 Baylor over number 12 Vanderbilt 80-63. Albany 2, number 5 Colorado over number 12 Drake 86-72. Portland 4, number 7 Iowa State over number 10 Maryland 93-86. Albany 1, number 3 Oregon State over number 14 Eastern Washington 73-51. Portland 4, number 2 Stanford over number 15 Norfolk State 79-50. Albany 1, number 6 Nebraska over number 11 Texas A&M 61-59. All right, Saturday, first round. Portland 4, number 6 Tennessee over number 11 Green Bay 92-63. Portland 3, number 3 UConn over number 14 Jackson State 86-64. Albany 1, number 4 Indiana over number 13 Fairfield 83-56 or 89-56. Portland 3, number 8 Kansas over number 9 Michigan 81-72 in overtime. Albany 1, number 2 Notre Dame over number 15 Kent State 81-67. Portland 4, number 3 NC State over number 14 Chattanooga 64-45. Albany 2, number 1 Iowa over number 16 Holy Cross 91-65. Portland 3, number 6 Syracuse number 11 over number 11 Arizona 74-69. Albany 1, number 5 Oklahoma over number 12 Florida Gulf Coast 73-70. Albany 1, number 7 Ole Miss over number 10 Marquette 67-55. Portland 3, number 1 USC over number 16 A&M Corpus Christi 87-55. Albany 2, number 8 West Virginia over number 9 Princeton 83-63. Or 63-53, my bad. Albany 2, number 7 Creighton over number 10 UNLV 87-73. Portland 4, number 4 Gonzaga over number 13 UC Irvine 75-56. Albany 2, number 2 UCLA over number 15 Cal Baptist 84-55. And Portland 4, number 5 Utah over number 12 South Dakota State 68-54. Is that true? No upsets? Oh, Middle Tennessee over Louisville. It's not a lot of upsets. Maybe from a betting standpoint, a 9 was favored over an 8 or something like that, but wow. All right, round of 32 for the women's. Portland 3, number 7 Duke over number 2 Ohio State 75-63. So now the upsets start coming in a little bit. Albany 1, number 1 South Carolina over number 8 North Carolina 88-41. Albany 2, number 5 Colorado over number 4 Kansas State 63-50. Albany 2, number 3 LSU over number 11 Middle Tennessee 83-56. Albany 1, number 3 Oregon State over number 6 Nebraska 61-51. Portland 4, number 1 Texas over number 8 Alabama 65-54. Portland 3, number 5 Baylor over number 4 Virginia Tech 75-72. And Portland 4, number 2 Stanford over number 7 Iowa State 87-81 in overtime. And then last night, round of 32, Albany 1, number 2 Notre Dame over number 7 Ole Miss 71-56. Portland 4, number 3, NC State over number 6, Tennessee, 79-72. Portland 3, number 3, UConn over number 6, Syracuse, 72-64. Albany 1, number 4, Indiana over number 5, Oklahoma, 75-68. Albany 2, number 1, Iowa over number 8, West Virginia, 64-54. West Virginia gave Iowa everything they can handle in that game. That was a deceiving 10-point win for Iowa and Caitlin Clark. We'll talk about Caitlin Clark later. Albany 2, number 2, UCLA over number 7, Creighton, 67-63. Portland 3, number 1, USC over number 8, Kansas, 73-55. And Portland 4, number 4, Gonzaga over number 5, Utah, 77-66. So, Women's Sweet 16 begins Friday. Looking forward to it. Okay, now we'll move on to the NIT. We'll do NIT. We have a couple games to go over. For tonight, it's the quarterfinal. I almost clicked the women's NIT. That would not have been ideal. So 7 o'clock on ESPN tonight, you have Georgia and Ohio State. My line's Ohio State by 8.5, total 147 and 7/20. And it is let's see. The NIT. 8.5 and 149.5, so very close. So my pick's the under. And at 9 o'clock on ESPN, Cincinnati, Indiana State. Mine's Indiana State by 11, total 149.75, and it's 3.5 and 154.5. I absolutely love Indiana State minus the points. Cincinnati's been a surprising team in the Big 12 this year. Or they were for most of the year. They didn't make the tournament. And they surprised it a little bit in the Big 12 tournament, but that was more because of Kansas's injuries. But I'll lay the points with Indiana State because they're, I think, the more motivated ball club here. All right, CBI. We have semifinals to talk about. We'll go over the ones from last night. Oh, we have quarterfinals last night. Tonight's semis. So High Point over Cleveland State, 93-74. Arkansas State over Montana, 74-61. Fairfield over Chicago State, 77-74. Seattle over Evansville, 71-57. And then tonight, 7 o'clock, ESPN2, High Point, Arkansas State. My line is High Point 5.5, total 156 and 4/5. And it's 2.5 and 161.5. We're going to go with the under. That's a high number. And 9 o'clock ESPN2, Seattle Fairfield. My line's Fairfield by 1, total 143 and 19/20. And it's Seattle 5.5, total 145.5. I'm taking Fairfield getting the 5.5 and plus 205 to win the game straight up. And now the CIT. There's only one CIT game. Yesterday was a semifinal. Purdue Fort Wayne over Tarleton, 73-72. That was actually a really good game. And then the championship is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock between Purdue Fort Wayne and Norfolk State. So we'll preview and pick that on tomorrow's podcast. So CIT coming to a close tomorrow, as well as the CBI, that finals tomorrow as well. So we're just wrapping up very quick. Now we'll move on to the NBA. We will go over the results from a busy night last night, and we will look ahead to a short day today in the association. Cavs over the Hornets, 115-92. Hawks over the Celtics, 121-18. Knicks over the Pistons, 124-99. Nets over the Raptors, 96-88. Wizards over the Bulls, 107-105. Rockets over the Trailblazers, 110-92. Spurs over the Suns, 104-102. Nuggets over the Grizzlies, 128-103. Mavericks over the Jazz, 115-105. Kings over the Sixers, 108-96. Pacers over the Clippers, 113-116. All right, for tonight, or at 7:30, Warriors Heat. My line is the Heat by only 3/4, total 226 and 4/5. I think it's going to be higher than that, and it is Golden State 1.5. Whoa, wrong team's favored, but I like the over, even with Harrell and Robinson out. And then on TNT's Lakers Bucks, I need to change this line because there's a possibility that LeBron isn't playing, which is not ideal for the Lakers, obviously. So, with LeBron, I have Bucks 6 3/4. Without LeBron, it's going to be 12 3/4. Total 236 and 2/5. It's 8.5 and 232. So, for this, without LeBron, I'd lay it with the Bucks. With LeBron, the over. There you go. So that one's still up in the air. 8 o'clock, Thunder Pelicans. My line is the Thunder 3 1/4, total 229 and 13/20. And it's 1.5 and 222.5. I like the over there as well. And then 10 o'clock on TNT, Mavericks Kings. Minus the Kings by 3, total 234 and 3/5. And it's 1.5 and 233. I'm going to do slight lean to the Kings at home. I think Kings money line at minus 116 is actually a really fair bet for that one. I would throw that in with a couple stuff. All right, the NHL. We will go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to a busy day today. Golden Knights over the Blues 2-1 in overtime on a goal by Jonathan Marchessault, and then the Kings over the Canucks 3-2. All right, big slate tonight. So at 7 o'clock, huge game in the Metro Division. Or I'm sorry, the Atlantic Division, Bruins-Panthers. There's a big one, the Metro, but not for the team that's home. It's big for the team on the road. So the Panthers minus 137, the Bruins are plus 114, over under 5.5. Overs minus 130, unders plus 106. Bruins plus 1.5 is minus 20. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 180. Not only, obviously, that division, but home ice in the East up for grabs. It's 4-team race. It's the Rangers, it's the Canes, it's the Bruins, and the Panthers. I wouldn't take the under in that game at plus money. Flyers, Rangers from the Garden. Rangers minus 188, Philly plus 155, over under 5.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 162. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 134. This is not the game that I was referring to, and I said it's bigger for the road team than the home team. That is the next game I'm going to talk about. So this is a hard one, but I'm going to go with the over. Now, this is the game that I was teasing. Hurricanes, Penguins. That's obviously bigger for the Canes than it is for the Pens because the Pens are out of it. So the Canes have a chance to pass the Rangers in the division. If they win, the Rangers lose. Canes minus 184, Pittsburgh plus 152, over under 6.5. Overs plus 102, unders minus 124. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 130. Pens plus 1.5 is minus 156. I like the over at plus money. Red Wings, Capitals. Pick'em, minus 110 each way, over under 6.5. Overs minus 112, unders minus 140. Or plus 112, I should say. Wings minus 1.5 is plus 220. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 275. So as we stand right now, the Capitals are the second wild card. Good for them. And then the Islanders are 4 back. The Devils are kind of still in it, but not really. They're 5 back. But I'm going to take the Capitals. They've been playing better than the Wings lately. So minus 110. Devils Maple Leafs, ESPN Plus and Hulu. Leafs minus 150, Devils plus 125, over under 6.5, overs minus 128, unders minus 102. Devils plus 1.5 is minus 184, Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 152. That's low. I'm taking the Devils outright at Toronto. 8 o'clock, Golden Knights Preds. Preds minus 144, Golden Knights plus 120, over under 6.5, overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Vegas plus 1.5 is minus 205, Preds minus 1.5 is plus 168. I don't know why Vegas is a dog. I'm taking them plus 120. Oilers Jets. But I didn't realize that the Preds were ahead of the Golden Knights in the standings. Holy mackerel. The Preds are the first wild card. Vegas is second wild card. That's insane. How did Vegas fall that far? Yeah, so the West is pretty much more set in stone than the East. Oilers Jets. Oilers minus 135, Jets plus 104, over under 6.5, overs plus 114, unders minus 140. Oilers minus 1.5 is plus 190, Jets plus 1.5 is minus 235. The Oilers only are a minus because of one Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. The Oilers really are. I know Zach Hyman has 50 goals, but I think that's a product of McDavid and Draisaitl. Give me Winnipeg plus 104. 8:30 Flames Blackhawks. Flames minus 182, Blackhawks plus 150, over under 5.5. Overs minus 140, unders plus 112. Flames minus 1.5 is plus 134. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 162. I'm going to lay the puck line with Calgary. I don't feel good about it, though. 9 o'clock, Habs, Avs. Avs minus 430. Habs plus 330, over under 6.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Habs plus 1.5 is plus 136. Avs minus 1.5 is minus 164. I'm going to go with the over in that one as well. Blue Jackets, Coyotes at 10. Arizona minus 172. Columbus plus 142, over under 6.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 164. Coyotes minus 1.5 is plus 136. I'm going to go with the over. Ducks, Kraken. Kraken minus 205. Ducks plus 168. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 104. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 150. Kraken minus 1.5 is plus 125. I'm going to take the over. And last but not least, 10:30 Stars, Sharks. Stars minus 410. Sharks plus 315. Over under 6.5. Minus 110 each way. Stars minus 1.5 is minus 156. Sharks plus 1.5 is plus 130. Let's go over on that one as well. Spring training. We'll recap the results from yesterday and look ahead to, I think today's the last day of spring training. Yes, it is. A lot of teams had their dress rehearsal games yesterday. But I think that we will have more dress rehearsal games today as well. Rays over the Phils 6-3, Yanks over the Mets 3-0, Braves over the Twins 4-0, Pirates over the Blue Jays 4-3, Cards over the Cubs 6-3, Brewers over the Rockies 10-1, Red Sox over the Rangers 9-2, Angels over the Dodgers 6-0, D-backs over the Guardians 6-0 and 6, Mariners over the Padres 4-1, Giants over the A's 4-1. And then the last day of spring training, 12:30, Tigers Rays from Tropicana Field. Like, now we're going to be seeing teams play games at their home ballparks. And we saw that yesterday, too. The Rangers played at home against the Red Sox. The Dodgers played at Dodger Stadium. The Padres played at Petco. Oakland played at Oakland Coliseum. Zona played at Chase Field. But yeah, like all the West Coast teams played at home, essentially. So the Rays are playing at Tropicana Field today. Then 1 o'clock, Braves Twins. That's from Hammond and Fort Myers. 2 o'clock, Red Sox Rangers. That's also going to be at Globe Life. 3 o'clock, Cardinals Cubs. That'll be at Sloan Park, not at Wrigley. Brewers Rockies. That is going to be at Salt River. So that's the Rockies spring training field. 3:30, Guardians Diamondbacks from Chase Field. 4 o'clock, Mariners Padres from Petco. 8 o'clock, A's Giants from Oracle Park. And then 9 o'clock, Dodgers Angels from Angel Stadium. So last day of spring training before it all begins on Thursday. Keep an eye out for all the podcasts that are going to be dropping within the next 48 hours of team previews and such. And then we're going to do, and then I'm going to drop the MLB season predictions show on Thursday, and where I'll reveal my pick to win the World Series and all that, and then the award winners and such. All right, now we'll move on to soccer. Soccer's going to be a little bit longer today because we did not do soccer on yesterday's show, so we want to touch on the games from the weekend as well. So we'll do Friday all the way up until today. So Friday, NWSL, Orlando, Angel City, 1-1 draw. Utah over North Carolina, 2-1. There's a lot of international friendlies. Colombia over Spain, 1-0. Argentina over El Salvador, 3-0. Peru over Nicaragua, 2-0. CONCACAF, Anguilla and Turks and Caicos, 0-0 draw. U.S. Virgin Islands and British Virgin Islands, 1-1 draw. And then Saturday, CONCACAF Nations League, Canada over Trinidad, 2-0. Costa Rica over Honduras, 3-1. MLS, New England, Chicago, 1-1 draw. Red Bulls over Miami, 4-0. That was a shocker. And did Messi even play in that game? I need to see, because if Messi didn't play, that's not going to be considered a legitimate win for the Red Bulls. No. So that's a fluke win for the Red Bulls because Messi didn't play. Sorry, Red Bulls. If Messi played, maybe they still win. Who knows? But, Messi's like LeBron. Come on. I would have been shocked if that was the final score with Messi. Maybe Miami isn't that good. Charlotte over Columbus, 2-0. FC Cincinnati over NYCFC, 1-0. Orlando over Austin, 2-0. Toronto over Atlanta, 2-0. Salt Lake over Vancouver, 2-1. Galaxy over Sporting KC, 3-2. St. Louis, DC, 2-2 draw. Houston over Colorado, 1-0. LAFC over Nashville, 5-0. The Union over Portland, 3-1. So they got their first win of the year, ironically on the road. They had 3 draws, and then now they get a win. That's weird. San Jose over Seattle, 3-2. The NWSL, Chicago over Seattle, 2-1. Washington over Bay FC, 2-1. Houston, Racing Louisville, 0-0 draw. KC over San Diego, 2-1. Notable international friendlies. Austria over Slovakia, 2-0. Switzerland, Denmark, 0-0 draw. Brazil over England, 1-0. Germany over France, 2-0. DR over Aruba, 2-0. Liga MX, FC Juarez over Puebla, 4-3. Women's Super League, Van City over Man United, 3-1. Sunday, CONCACAF Nations League, Jamaica over Panama, 1-0. And U.S. over Mexico, 2-0. Women's League, Gotham over Portland 1-0. Notable friendlies, Italy over Ecuador 2-0. Guatemala, Venezuela 0-0 draw. Belize over Puerto Rico 3-0. Women's Super League, Everton Liverpool 0-0 draw. Tottenham over Bristol City 1-0. Brighton Hove over Leicester 3-2. Chelsea over West Ham 2-0. Arsenal over Aston Villa 3-1. USL, Monterrey Berry Rhode Island 2-2 draw. And then yesterday, notable friendly results. Sweden over Albania 1-0. Serbia over Cyprus 1-0. Russia, Paraguay canceled. And that was the only notable soccer up until this point. So today, we have Euro qualifying finals. 1 o'clock, we have Georgia and Greece. Greece plus 130, Georgia plus 240, draw plus 1. I didn't even take Greece at plus 130. 345, Ukraine, Iceland. Ukraine minus 195, Iceland 2-1, draw plus 280. We're going over 2.5 goals plus 110. And Wales, Poland. It's going to be an interesting one. Wales is plus 160, Poland's plus 190, and the draw is plus 190. And I mean, this is a big one. I'm going to go with the draw plus 190 because I don't have any clue where to go, really. UEFA Nations, today at 1 o'clock, you have Lithuania and Gibraltar. I'm going to see if that's on here. Yes, Lithuania's minus 650. Gibraltar's 15-1. The draw's 5-1. We're going under 2.5 goals minus 114. And then international friendlies today. Today's the last day of them for a while. 10 o'clock, Cayman Islands, Moldova. We're not going to do picks because of time. Noon, Uganda, Ghana. 1 o'clock, Finland, Estonia. Latvia, Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein. 2 o'clock, Hungary, Kosovo. Malta, Belarus. Norway, Slovakia. 3 o'clock, Cambodia and Guyana. Brunei and Vanuatu. Czechia and Armenia. 3:15, Denmark and Faroe Islands. 3:30, Colombia and Romania. Ivory Coast, Uruguay. Senegal, Benin. 3:45, Austria, Turkey. England, Belgium. Germany, Netherlands. Luxembourg, Pakistan. Republic, Ireland, Switzerland. Scotland, Northern Ireland. Slovenia, Portugal. 4 o'clock, Egypt, Croatia. France, Chile. New Zealand, Tunisia. 4:30, Spain, Brazil. 5 o'clock, Mali, Nigeria. Algeria, South Africa. Togo, Libya. 6 o'clock, Morocco and Mauritania. 9 o'clock, El Salvador and Honduras. Nicaragua, Cuba. Niger, Burkina Faso. 9:30, Peru, Dominican Republic. And 10:45, Argentina and Costa Rica. All right, now we'll go to the portfolio. All right, so I have news for you guys today. My intention is to put a baseball bet on portfolio because the season is starting. But at the same time, I kind of want to get in on some basketball and hockey before the playoffs get underway. So, I'm just looking around the awards. Whoa, Juan Soto passed Aaron Judge for the AL MVP favorite. That's wrong. That's because of Aaron Judge's injury. I want to see the AL Cy Young favorite. Oh, it's Corbin Burns at 8-1. Where's Cole? Cole's probably off the board because of his injury. But yeah, I see value right away in the AL Cy Young. And this person is not going to be my pick to win the award, I don't think. But there's value sitting there at 30-1. That's somebody that's won this award in the past. I know he's been injured a lot, but he's still a really good pitcher. He's on a team that's known for its pitching. It's a team that was bad last year and could surprise this year in a weak division. And I'm referring to the Cleveland Guardians as Shane Bieber. He's 30-1 to win the Cy Young. I'm going to do a 10th of a unit on it because I love Shane Bieber. He's one of my favorite pitchers to watch. He's so good. So there you have it for my first future bet of the season. All right, now we'll do the center field rankings. It was interesting putting center field together. We were supposed to do this on yesterday's show, but we couldn't get to it. So without further ado, here we go. 30, Ceddanne Rafaela, Red Sox. 29, Parker Meadows, Tigers. 28, Kyle Isbell, Royals. 27, Miles Straw, Guardians. 26, Brenton Doyle, Rockies. 25, Victor Robles, Nationals. 24, Kevin Kiermaier, Blue Jays. 23, Jake Myers, Astros. 22, Jung-Hoo Lee, Giants. 21, Jackson Morrill, Padres. 20, Jackson Chourio, Brewers. 19, Alek Thomas, Diamondbacks. 18, Johan Rojas, Phillies. 17, Esteury Ruiz, A's. 16, Michael A. Taylor, Pirates. 15, Harrison Bader, Mets. 14, Tommy Edman, Cardinals. 13, TJ Friedl, Reds. 12, Jose Siri, Rays. 11, James Outman, Dodgers. 10, Leody Taveras, Rangers. 9, Cedric Mullins, Orioles. 8, Cody Bellinger, Cubs. 7, Jazz Chisholm, Marlins. 6, Michael Harris II, Braves. 5, Byron Buxton, Twins. 4, Mike Trout, Angels. 3, Luis Robert Jr., White Sox. 2, Julio Rodriguez, Mariners. And number 1, Aaron Judge, New York Yankees. You're crazy if you don't put Aaron Judge number 1. He was the best player in baseball 2 years ago and probably would have won the AL MVP last year if he didn't stub his toe in Dodger Stadium, which changed the trajectory of the Yankee season. The Yankees, I don't think they would have won the division. They probably would have gotten the wild card, and who knows, maybe they would have made on an unexpected playoff run or something like that. But they would have been at least a wild card had he not gotten injured. And Aaron Judge is literally as important to the Yankees as LeBron James is to the Lakers and as Steph Curry is to the Warriors and as Patrick Mahomes is to the Chiefs. That's Aaron Judge on this Yankees team. Rodriguez is awesome, though. He's coming for Judge. Luis Robert, when healthy, is awesome. Mike Trout is not the same player as he used to be. That's just reality. And quite frankly, he's low-key overrated at this point. He's hurt all the time. And people talk about Aaron Judge being hurt all the time. Let's talk about Mike Trout being hurt all the time. The quote-unquote best player in baseball this century. And the reality is Aaron Judge was probably the best player, has probably been the best player in baseball since 2017. But we all remember the Astros cheated. So Jose Altuve won that AL MVP in 2017, and Mike Trout had the reputation of being the best player in baseball. Meanwhile, he hasn't won a playoff game. Byron Buxton, when healthy, awesome. Michael Harris, I think, is underrated. I like Jazz Chisholm a lot. Cody Bellinger's back on the Cubs. Cedric Mullins, really good player on the O's. Leody Tavares had a nice year on the Rangers last year. And now we get into some role player types and then, like, fringe guys. So, now we'll do right field. So, obviously, different because Juan Soto is in right field instead of Aaron Judge. We'll see how the rankings break. 30, Wilyer Abreu, Red Sox. 29, Seth Brown, Athletics. 28, Charlie Blackmon, Rockies. 27, Jason Hayward, Dodgers. 26, Mickey Moniak, Angels. 25, Mike Yastrzemski, Giants. 24, Jesus Sanchez, Marlins. 23, Sal Frelick, Brewers. 22, Will Brennan, Guardians. 21, Ahmed Rosario, Rays. 20, Will Benson, Reds. 19, Jordan Walker, Cardinals. 18, Dominic Fletcher, White Sox. 17, Hunter Renfroe, Royals. 16, Mitch Haniger, Mariners. 15, Lane Thomas, Nationals. 14, Starling Marte, Mets. 13, Anthony Santander, Orioles. I do that every time. Oilers, Orioles. 12, Max Kepler, Twins. 11, Seiya Suzuki, Cubs. 10, Riley Green, Tigers. 9, Adolis Garcia, Rangers. 8, George Springer, Blue Jays. 7, Nick Castellanos, Phillies. 6, Brian Reynolds, Pirates. 5, Kyle Tucker, Astros. 4, Fernando Tatis Jr., Padres. 3, Corbin Carroll, Diamondbacks. 2, Juan Soto, Yankees. And number 1, Ronald Acuna Jr., Atlanta Braves. Acuna versus Soto is a hard one for me. And I was tempted to put Soto ahead of Acuna because Acuna, let's face it, is still not a very mature player. He gets benched for not hustling. He does things wrong. But the difference is that Acuna at least has been on the Braves. Meanwhile, Juan Soto hasn't been in the playoffs for a while. He hasn't been in the playoffs since the Nats won the World Series. I know that's irrelevant. And Juan Soto should be, and I mean in capital letters, should be in the postseason this year at the Yankees. And then right field's actually pretty deep with really awesome players. Corbin Carroll, reigning NL Rookie of the Year. It's only going to get better. Tatis is awesome. Put up 40-something home runs a couple years ago. And was really good on the Padres after he came back from suspension. Kyle Tucker, really, really good player. He's someone that looked like a bust when he first came up, and then all of a sudden he turned it around. So it can happen for some of these guys that were highly touted and haven't gotten off the good starts. I mean, same thing happened to Aaron Judge, except Aaron Judge is a better player than Kyle Tucker. Brian Reynolds, really underrated. Part of it's because he's on the Pirates, who stink. Nick Castellanos and George Springer, both really good players on good teams. Adolis Garcia, same thing. Riley Green is going to be an impact guy on the Tigers. Seiya Suzuki's really good. Max Kepler, a little bit better this past year than years prior. And I like Santander on Baltimore. Right field's really, really deep. Like, there's some good players in the high teens. And that's going to be a list that's going to be really interesting down the road. Okay, DHs now. So there's only 29 because the Padres really don't have a DH. And they have Manny Machado and Jake Cronenworth as their two DHs. Meanwhile, those two players start at third and first, respectively. So here we go with the DHs. 29, Elhirius Montero, Rockies. 28, Ryan O'Hearn, Orioles. 27, Jake Fraley, Reds. 26, Harold Ramirez, Rays. 25, Nelson Velasquez, Royals. 24, Alex Kirilloff, Twins. 23, Matt Carpenter, Cardinals. 22, Gary Sanchez, Brewers. 21, Andrew McCutchen, Pirates. 20, Joey Meneses, Nationals. 19, Eloy Jimenez, White Sox. 18, Brent Rooker, Athletics. 17, Avisail Garcia, Marlins. 16, Jock Peterson, Diamondbacks. 15, Patrick Wisdom, Cubs. 14, Masataka Yoshida, Red Sox. 13, Ezekiel Duran, Rangers. 12, Kerry Carpenter, Tigers. 11, Brandon Drury, Angels. 10, Josh Naylor, Guardians. 9, Mitch Garver, Mariners. 8, Justin Turner, Blue Jays. 7, Jorge Soler, Giants. 6, Giancarlo Stanton, Yankees. 5, JD Martinez, Mets. 4, Marcell Ozuna, Braves. 3, Kyle Schwarber, Phillies. 2, Yordan Alvarez, Astros. And number 1, of course it is, Shohei Ohtani, Los Angeles Dodgers. The top 3 is obviously the top 3. You could argue Alvarez versus Schwarber, but I put Alvarez ahead of Schwarber because batting average still kind of matters in baseball. And Kyle Schwarber hit under 200 last year. Ozuna's a really productive player on Atlanta. You could argue between the 2 New York DHs. I went JD Martinez over Stanton because Martinez at least has stayed healthy. Meanwhile, Stanton has not and strikes out at literally every other at bat. And his 3 home run game in spring training was the funniest 3 homer game ever because it was meaningless. Jorge Soler, and that's not to say Giancarlo Stanton, when he's healthy, is still a really good player. It's kind of like Buxton and Luis Robert at center field, but those 2 players are obviously much younger than Stanton. Soler, I think his stats are going to be affected by playing in that ballpark for the worse. I like Justin Turner. He's still a really productive player. Mitch Garver I like more than most. Josh Naylor I thought about putting higher. Brandon Drury quietly has been really good on the Angels. Kerry Carpenter's underrated. Ezekiel Duran was really good on the Rangers. Masataka Yoshida had some spurts on Boston. Patrick Wisdom hits him out of the ballpark. So DH is deep too. So that's another really deep position. So tomorrow we'll do starters. And I think we'll do closers on Thursday. The American League portion of the starters is done. I just have to squeeze in the National League guys. All right, the news and notes for today. Not a lot, but unfortunately, we have to start with awful news out of Baltimore as a boat was approaching the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, and it was a boat it was a large cargo ship and happened overnight, and there's a video that captured it. The bridge collapsed as the cargo ship struck it, and apparently there was cars on the bridge when it was struck. They pulled 2 people out of the water. Luckily, they are alive. And then there was 1 person in critical condition. So our thoughts and prayers to all involved in this horrific tragedy. The Francis Scott Key Bridge is a very well-known bridge in Baltimore. And the bridge crosses over the Patapsco River on Interstate 695 and is the final link on the Baltimore Beltway. And it's the outermost of the 3 toll crossings of Baltimore's harbor. So, that's just really sad, and hopefully, that bridge gets rebuilt soon, and prayers to all involved in the tragedy. It's just really sad news. That's the first thing that popped on social media today, and I cannot believe it. So, prayers to all involved. So in sports, Caitlin Clark, we brought her up earlier. Her team was kind of lucky to beat West Virginia. So she set yet another record. She's now the all-time women's Division I leader in single-season points in 1,113. So that is awesome. Russell Westbrook came back last night after the hand fracture, so that was good news for the Clippers, although they lost to Indy. Former Patriots and Bills running back Damian Harris is retiring after 5 seasons. So he barely was in the league for that long. OG Anunoby remains sidelined as Tom Thibodeau says OG's doing more, but still needs to let the elbow irritation calm down. As long as he's back for the postseason, they should be okay. The depth on the roster is one of the biggest reasons why they've dodged the play-in with these 2 big injuries. Tom Thibodeau has to be in the Coach of the Year conversation now. How did the Knicks dodge the play-in and they lost Julius Randle and OG Anunoby for a long amount of time? Granted, no Embiid certainly helps the Knicks' case. The Heat have also had some injuries. Everybody's had injuries, but the Knicks have had 2 big ones. And they're going to probably have home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs, and that's remarkable. And they didn't even have home court last year with Brunson and Randle. So obviously, the Celtics blew that big lead against the Hawks last night, a 30-point lead. Jason Tatum said they effed the game up after they blew that lead. Domantas Sabonis broke the double-double record. No hard feelings from Kevin Love after he broke Kevin Love's record. Then Bradley Beal was honest after losing to the Victor Wembanyama-less Spurs. He said something really that was eye-opening. So here's some news. Shakira fires shots at Piguet. She said the husband was dragging me down. So that's really interesting. Oregon and Wazoo get $65 million as they receive settlement from Pac-12 members that left the conference. The NFL approves a new kickoff rule as the owners bypassed hybrid model similar to the XFL. So that is very interesting. And then the Hall of Fame game got announced. How about this? August 1st, Texans-Bears. So now we know the Hall of Fame game, and that's a good one, too. So that's going to be Caleb Williams against, will C.J. Stroud play? I don't know. But, of course, the Bears are in this game. I could have predicted that. But I just didn't think of it. But I thought it was going to be like Bears-Commanders or something like that, or Bears-Giants, or Bears-Patriots, like a couple rookie QBs. But, yeah, of course the Bears are in it. All right, and before we go to best bet, so the Maryland governor is speaking right now, Wes Moore, as officials provide an update on the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse after the cargo ship collision. So, we'll get more into that tomorrow. Best bet brought to you by FanDuel. So, there's a couple that I thought about. There's a couple things that jumped out to me, but the one that jumped out to me the most was in the NIT. And I'm going to lay 1/10 of a unit on Indiana State. -3.5 against Cincinnati. They're just a better team. And I think that they want to win this tournament and have a point to prove to the NCAA and say, oh, we should have been in the big dance. So I'm going to lay the 3.5 at Indiana State against Cincinnati for my best bet of the day. So that's it for the show, and I'll be back throughout the day today with all the baseball preview pods. We're probably going to do the first half in alphabetical order today and then the second half tomorrow. And then on tomorrow's show, we're going to do all reality TV. We'll catch up with Idol even as well. So tomorrow's show is going to be long as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.